Hi everyone, we're Charlotte and Corey and we're here to share with you 10 epic places to visit in the UK. After exploring much of the UK over the past few years, we've compiled a list of 10 places that we highly recommend to any traveller wanting to experience the diversity and beauty of the UK. This list includes epic landmarks, historic cities and stunning national parks. So without further ado, let's begin our countdown of 10 must-visit places in the UK. Located in the north of Wales is Snowdonia National Park, an area we only visited recently but quickly became one of our favourite locations in the UK. Every year, nearly 4 million people visit Snowdonia to see its mountainous peaks, explore its lush valleys and discover its unique cultural heritage. Many visitors to Snowdon travel to hike Wales's highest peak, Snowdon. Standing at 1,085 metres above sea level, Snowdon is both Wales and England's highest mountain, and over 500,000 adventurers set out every year to reach its summit. If you're lucky enough to get a cloudless summit, the views are spectacular, but be aware this is a very busy trail and you may be queuing for your summit photo. Alongside hiking Snowdon, you can spend your time in Snowdonia National Park, soaking up the views from the scenic roads. There are epic off-road tracks that you can have a lot of fun on if that's your thing. Otherwise, you can delve into Wales's incredible history by visiting one of its 600 castles, or you can even explore some of the 23 miles of coastline found in Snowdonia National Park. To see all that Snowdonia has to offer, we recommend at least 3 days, but most say 5 to 7 days is needed for all of its beauty. Hailed as one of the UK's most beautiful cities, Bath is a destination that has been known as a place for well-being since the Roman era. Famous for its natural thermal hot springs, Bath still hosts the ancient Roman baths that are once built for pleasure and relaxation. Nowadays they are no longer safe to use for bathing, but instead they are a popular tourist attraction and a must-do on any visit to Bath. If you're looking to bathe in the natural hot springs, you can do this at the modern Thermae Bath Spa, the only destination in Britain where it's possible. Alongside the hot springs, Bath is also known for its stunning Georgian architecture, so beautiful that inspired famed author Jane Austen to call Bath her home and use it as a setting within 2 of her novels. Top landmarks to see in Bath include Pulteney Bridge, Sally Lunn's house, the Royal Crescent and the Circus. We'd also recommend a visit to the Bath Christmas markets, which is a particularly beautiful time to visit. In the mountainous region of northern Scotland, you'll find the enchanting and mythical Scottish Highlands, a nature lover's dream. Though the Highlands may appear remote and isolated, they are actually fairly accessible and make for a fantastic road trip, especially because the scenery is simply jaw-dropping. Roads stretch between mountains or lochs, and if you're lucky enough, you can also drive beside some of the famous Highland cows. They are very cute. The Highlands are also home to the UK's highest peak, Ben Nevis, which is an extremely popular hiking trail, especially in the summer months when it is most accessible, and if it's not covered in cloud, which unfortunately we encountered. Alongside Ben Nevis, other notable attractions include Loch Ness, home to the mythical Loch Ness Monster and the medieval Urquhart Castle. Glenfinnan Viaduct, a beautiful viaduct where tourists flock to see the Jacobite steam train crossing, and is now synonymous with the Harry Potter films. Plus the Steel Falls, another Harry Potter film location, but that aside, it is one of the best short walks in Scotland, with the trail running towards Ben Nevis and the spectacular Steel Waterfall. Undoubtedly one of the most recognisable historic monuments in the world, Stonehenge draws in crowds from all over, intrigued and fascinated by what we know and what we do not know about this ancient landmark. Located in South England, Stonehenge is a prehistoric stone circle, cemetery and archaeological site that was built roughly 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. It's comprised of approximately 100 upright stones and marks both the winter and summer solstice through its placement of the stones. Every year, hundreds gather to watch the sun rise in line with the stones on the morning of the summer solstice. Entry during the summer solstice is free of charge, but all other times there is a charge, and you cannot walk in between the stones unless you book a VIP tour. However, it is quite possible to get close to the stones without the entry fee if you don't want to explore more of the site. Stonehenge may not be for everyone, and it is particularly pricey, but we think it's fascinating and an important monument to visit within the UK. The UK is home to 15 national parks, and one that we particularly love that often goes under the radar is Exmoor National Park, located in southwest England in North Devon and West Somerset. It is one of the UK's smallest national parks, but that doesn't stop it from being one of its most beautiful. It has a beautiful variety of landscapes, from rolling hills to dramatic sea cliffs and hidden coves, as well as being a dark sky reserve, so undoubtedly a great place to participate in some stargazing. There is an array of activities to do in Exmoor, depending on your interests and needs. There are numerous cycling and hiking trails, and of course there's the incredible coastal path, which offers outstanding views. We highly recommend a visit to Valley of Rock for a stunning section of the coastal path and to see the dramatic landscape, which is also home to some wild goats. A trip to London and Lynmouth is also a must, as well as a ride on the Cliff Railway, a water-powered cart from the Victorian era which connects the two towns and has spectacular views of the surrounding area. There are also plenty of small villages to discover in Exmoor National Park, with one of the most popular being Porlock and the nearby harbour settlement of Porlock Wear, which was one of our favourite spots to stop for a morning coffee. If you're familiar with the Isle of Wight, then the first image you'll think of is the iconic site of the Needles, 3 white chalk stacks located off the coast of the island. Historically, there used to be 4 stacks, and the name Needles came from the now existent 4th stack, which was needle-shaped. Unfortunately, it was destroyed in a storm during the 18th century and collapsed. Nonetheless, the view is still impressive with the remaining 3. Today, the Needles bring in thousands of visitors every year and contributes to why the Isle of Wight is one of Britain's most popular islands for a holiday. Alongside seeing the Needles, a great attraction is the Needles Old Battery, a Victorian coastal defence which was also used during the wars. Plus, the site was used for rocket testing during the 20th century. It really is a fascinating area and well worth a visit if you have an interest in military history. Also, if you do visit the Needles Old Battery, be sure to visit the cafe, an extremely unique tea room with a pretty impressive view. If you're a fan of our channel, it will probably come as no surprise to see Cornwall on this list. It's my home county and, in our opinion, one of the most beautiful areas within the UK. England's most southern county, Cornwall is a land of dramatic coastal cliffs, mythical tales, white sandy beaches and a rich cultural heritage. It's one of the most popular destinations within the UK for a domestic holiday and makes for a fantastic road trip, and is of course very family and dog friendly. It truly is a beautiful place, and at times you'll be forgiven for thinking you've been transported to somewhere far from the UK, with its award-winning beaches, turquoise waters and laid-back lifestyle. Many flock to the shores of Cornwall to try their hand at surfing, with Cornwall being the home of British surfing, particularly Fistral Beach in Newquay. Hiking is also a popular activity, especially along the southwest coast path, which provides magnificent views of the dramatic landscape. There are also beautiful gardens to visit and dozens of picturesque villages, with the most popular including Port Isaac, Padstow and Foy. For those looking to indulge in the mythical tales of Cornwall, then a visit to Tintagel is a must, where you'll find the ruins of Tintagel Castle and along with it the legendary stories of King Arthur and Merlin's Cave. Honestly, our list for Cornwall could go on, but be assured it's a beautiful part of the UK and one that truly needs to be on your bucket list. One of the UK's most historically interesting cities, York is a walled city that has both Roman and Viking roots. It was founded by Romans around AD 71 who continued to live and rule there for 3 centuries and was later invaded by Vikings in 1866, led by Ivar the Boneless. You can learn more about York's Viking history at the Yorvik Viking Centre, an immersive family-friendly tourist attraction. In regards to the Roman history of York, the most impressive legacy left by the Romans is of course the city wall. Much of the wall still remains and you can access and walk along it free of charge. Other must-do activities on a visit to York include a walk along Shambles, one of the best preserved medieval shopping streets in Europe, with its cobbled streets and overhanging buildings. It is believed that Diagon Alley from the Harry Potter series drew inspiration from Shambles, and it's very easy to see why that link was made. Additionally, a visit to York Minster, considered one of the world's most magnificent cathedrals, is highly recommended, alongside a visit to Clifford's Tower, a fortified complex with a long history dating back to the 11th century. Overall, York is a fascinating city and one that any history buff will love to visit, with its unique attractions and charming buildings. We're going back to the beautiful country of Wales to highlight another of its outstanding national parks, Brecon Beacons. Located in South Wales and comprising of 6 main peaks, Brecon Beacons is an outdoor adventurous dream. Its highest peak, Penafan, is a popular hiking trail with spectacular summit views. However, a real highlight for us in this region is the spectacular waterfalls that the Brecon Beacons are home to. A must-do activity is the 4 Falls Trail, a circuit trail that leads you to 4 spectacular waterfalls. This is a very popular trail and it's easy to see why. It makes for a fantastic day out, plus there's many swimming spots for a wild swim or a cool down if you're hiking on a hot summer's day. Additionally, there's also Henry Falls, the tallest waterfall in South Wales and one that was made famous from the Dark Knight Rises trilogy, where it was featured in one of the films. This is a really cool spot and a must visit. Other activities in the area include horse riding, canyoning, kayaking and caving. Our final location in our UK top 10 takes us back to Scotland, to the incredible city of Edinburgh, the Scottish capital. Known for its striking architecture, rich literary heritage and cobbled streets, Edinburgh makes for a fantastic weekend trip and it's personally one of our favourite UK cities. There is just so much to do there. Any trip to Edinburgh wouldn't be complete without a visit to the iconic Edinburgh Castle, perched on Castle Rock overlooking the city. It has a long rich history as a royal residence and is one of the oldest fortified places in Europe. We'd advise at least half a day to explore all that the castle has to offer. Other top things to do include taking a walk up Arthur's Seat, the remains of an extinct volcano overlooking the city, visiting the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Carlton Hill, photographing Edinburgh's most colourful street, Victoria Street in Edinburgh Old Town, and of course a walk down the Royal Mile. Also, you can't visit Edinburgh without paying Greyfriars Bobby a visit, located close to Edinburgh's most famous gravesite, Greyfriars Kirk, where you'll find names that inspired characters in the Harry Potter series. Overall, Edinburgh is a fascinating city with an incredible backstory. We'd highly recommend a walking tour to learn more about its interesting history, and if you're a fan of ghost stories, you won't be disappointed to learn that Edinburgh is known as one of the most haunted cities in the world. Well, there you have it, 10 must-visit locations in the UK. Let us know in the comments below where you'd like to visit in the UK. And if you want to take a deep dive into any of these locations, we'll link the full-length videos in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, the best way to support us is to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next one.